Hi everybody, this is Andrei. This demo song I created on a Voyetra sequencer plus Gold using this small setup that you can see on my desk. So it consists of the small computer, a Roland MT-32 MIDI module, and the MIDI interface by Deftaudio. So we are going to talk what's special about all of these, but before that I'm going to explain what makes the Voyetra sequencer special and why someone would consider using it today. If you haven't heard that name before, that's totally okay, because this sequencer was first made around late 80s, and the last version that I'm using here, it's called Voyetra sequencer plus Gold 4.11, was produced around 1992, so that was over 30 years ago, and that was way before the Windows appeared on the PC platform, and the Windows 3.11 first came in 92, but before that was Windows 2.0, and that was certainly nothing did exist for the musical world at that time. While on other platforms, such as Macintosh, Atari, and Amiga, they were their own world, and there were some tools to create music already. On a PC, the revolution happened after Roland released the MPU-401 MIDI interface that created a whole new world for the gaming, the hardware interface into the MIDI, and of course ultimately created a world of the MIDI production. So Voyetra sequencer was developed specifically to be a MIDI sequencer and to interface to the different classes of the MIDI devices. And it's running on DOS. It doesn't run on Windows. And of course, today you can take the DOS application and you can put it into the DOS emulator and you can run it under Windows, Mac OS, Linux, whatever it is. The problem with that if you take the original DOS application and run it through the whole layers of the emulation, and especially for the music production here, that creates a whole stack of the additional latencies, and more importantly MIDI jitter, that makes it really unusable running inside the emulator. So what I have here is the true DOS platform. We'll talk about this, and I will show you several options that actually I've been really enjoying playing with, and I will show you how that interfaces to the actual MIDI hardware. So within the Voyetra, because all of that developed for DOS, it's like a package that includes also drivers to interface to the specific hardware that was available at that time. And pretty much no hardware released after mid-90s is compatible with this platform, because all of that was designed at that time and to interface to the MIDI modules, sound cards, and the early products that came at that time. What I want to show here is the product that was released not long time ago. This product made in China. It's the true 386 SX DOS computer. So it's very, very small. It has a built-in battery, but more importantly, it has built-in audio, that is Yamaha OPL3 FM chip, and this is what you heard in my demo. So the chord progression that started, it was created on the FM synthesis, and I have the audio cable connected just here to show you this. But also, so that allows us to use the FM synthesis, but also it goes through the serial interface to this board that I'm making under Deftaudio brand. So what it's doing basically, it allows to take the serial port that exists here on this computer and convert it to the MIDI. So, and in that way, it's fully compatible with a Voyetra sequencer, so it has a special driver to run it, and I can play, I can record, and I can create a full tracks using just this environment. So, just to show how easy it is, so I have a keyboard connected here, obviously, and if I press on the keyboard, the MIDI coming, the DIN MIDI here, translated to the serial output that goes to this computer, and also you have a way to connect it to the another computer. In that case, I have a Macintosh here, well, Mac, and it presents itself like a USB class compatible MIDI device. So if I move a knob here or play a note, you'll see that MIDI message is displayed here. But also, if I start playing some messages here from the sequencer, they will be moving to the also to the over USB, and that is allowing to have a very close integration between two platforms, between the DOS platform and between the current platform and within the MIDI keyboards. Why it's special? Well, Voyetra sequencer is very fast, extremely intuitive to program, and very efficient on the resources. And that gives it very precise MIDI timing. So when you start programming these, first of all, you get so quickly used to that, used to the shortcut combinations. And you may see here, I don't have a mouse. It does not need a mouse. You operate it with just a bunch of the, key combinations that's so easy to remember, and it's so easy to move and program a sequence and to edit on the fly, and to edit notes and so on, add the controllers and so on and so forth. And with that setup, I can drive my other MIDI modules, I can drive my DAW, I can use it as the common MIDI clock for all my other gear and so on and so forth. And I just found it's a very good combination to put it together with Roland MT-32 and play some song for you, because it's all coming from the same time. So let me disconnect it and let me show you what's inside this computer. So this small computer produced by a company, let's say no-name company, and it's available on AliExpress, it's available on eBay, and basically it's a big hit in the retro market, but probably not many musicians really know about this. So it has the capabilities to interface to the external world, and the first thing that you can see here, it has multiple ports here. These ports are on these type of headers, and then to connect it to the actual port, like in this serial port, you have to use the breakout module that comes together, of course, but I mean that you are not connecting it directly, you have to use that mini board. Also, there are several revisions of these computers, and some of them came with integrated OPL3 chip by default. All of them include it, but not all of them include the serial port chip. So the serial port expansion is actually located here, and it's like another board that attaches on top of the motherboard, and that gives you a capability to run the actual hardware serial port. And this is what is needed and used by the Deftaudio controller, MIDI controller, MIDI interface, that takes that serial communication and converts it to the USB and MIDI. So with that, I can quickly set up that, and it will be outputting the MIDI over that serial interface. Obviously, it's a one input, one output, and but in addition to the external hardware MIDI, I can use the OPL3 built-in FM synthesis all together. And with the Voyetra sequencer, it allows you to just to assign it to a different port and use the capabilities of that FM synthesis engine. I found it really cool, and I found it so convenient. The platform has its own battery, so I can run it for several hours on just the battery power. I can take it anywhere with me, and it's so convenient just to do some stuff on the road or to put it in the studio. Anyway, once you finish, you just turn it off. There is no any shutdown procedure, and put it in your pocket. So this is it. This was the first platform that I was going to show. Now let me switch gears and show you another platform that's produced by the same company that makes this Book 386. That's the, it's a Pocket 386. And that's a 386 based computer. And I will show you their original design that's called Book 8088. That's based on the Intel 8088 processor. Alright, so now I switched the setup to this Book 8088, and so let's talk about what makes it special. It's currently running the same Voyetra sequencer, just a different color mode. So this platform is much slower, of course, than 386 platform, because there is like 10 years development between what was developed originally to the 8088 design on the IBM XT to the 386 PC machines later. All of these platforms, they are absolutely, well, time accurate. So there is no any sort of emulation here. It's based on all the original chips, and so it runs extremely accurate timing. Why I would prefer to go with this computer when knowing that it's much slower than the other one, the 386? Well, the primary difference might be that unlike the other piece that has all the connectors on the breakout boards, this one has the actual connectors for the serial port and for the parallel port. So I can run my MIDI interface with a serial port. I also have a parallel port that I can run together at the same time, and I can connect additional interface to the parallel port, for instance. So I think that's what really differentiates them. The experience here is very similar. So it also has the OPL3, Yamaha OPL3 chip here. Unlike the 386 based computer, this one has it on the daughter card here. So you need to make sure that you order this, that card installed inside, otherwise you will not get the sound. You take the sound from the 3.5 millimeter jack here on the side. Of course, it's noisy because everything in this, well, early FM days is noisy, so expect that. But other than that, I can play it. So again, I currently have it hooked to the same setup. Basically, the cable connects directly here, and if I play on the keyboard, so it's currently going to the MT-32 interface. If I change the port to the second port, let's say here, you can barely hear, but it's playing through the internal speakers. It's going to the FM synthesis module. So again, I have the input, I can connect all my actual hardware gear here, and I can interface to the modern computer with a USB running at the same time, and also play with FM. I think it's just overall, it's so outstanding to use something portable like this and still get the true native original experience of the Voyetra sequencer. You'll really enjoy when you start using it. So that's pretty much it. So what's inside this module? It's very basic. It has the internal controller that's managing the communication to MIDI input ports up to coupler, the serial driver chip, the proper one, and so it's running the firmware inside. You can get it full assembled, or you can get it as a kit from my indie store, whatever you prefer. It's so easy to solder it down. It's just all the parts are through-hole parts, no any SMD parts. So the experience is really basic soldering skills needed to put it all together, and upload the firmware, and here you go, you can use it right away. I found it's a really cool together to have all of this and being able to play with this and don't build the older PC computers, the towers and so on, because this is so much convenient and it could be on the go. So this is pretty much it. But before we finish, I will switch to the third solution, and this is just for fun to show you something that existed also almost 30 years ago, and not many people know about this. And we will take a look on this, have fun, and say goodbye. And so this is our last setup for today. This mini computer by Hewlett-Packard, it's called 100LX. What makes it very special, that it's one of a unique piece, again, developed 30 years ago, running on 186 processor, and running the true DOS inside it, DOS 3.0. And it has the compact flash card here, and by the way, all other devices, Book 8088 and Pocket 386, they also run off a compact flash card, so you don't need to deal with any hard disks. But the cool thing about this is that it has the actual hardware serial port that could be interfaced to the same MIDI interface that I'm using here. And this device doesn't have any backlight. That's why it looks so bad on the camera. Please forgive me that. But you may see that it's running Voyetra sequencer here. I can play it. I can put it on the record. And I can play it back, of course. The main problem with this setup that it's a sort of a slow, honestly. It's a slow speed, it's a slow screen, so all the refresh is quite slow here. And it's also for the communication. It's quite easy to MIDI overflow when you program it in real time and start sending a bunch of messages. If you just go to the manual edit mode and start programming the notes from the screen and with the key combinations, it will play just fine. Anyway, wanted to show you this, and I'm sure you will find another cool ideas how you could possibly use this serial MIDI interface. And thanks a lot, and thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.